Welcome back to part 5 of Conquering Japan with Tochigi SC. We're only allowed to sign players under 6 foot, and we are doing this save as Junichi Inamoto. So far so good. One thing I wanted to mention, we've installed a new skin. So shout out to Work the Space who pointed me towards the FM Skin builder. And there's a link in the description to the website. So if you're interested in customizing FM26 and want to make it as easy as possible, a noob like me, I was able to do it relatively simply. So we are using the CTRL 26 skin created by MW90. I think it's clean, so that's why things are going to look a bit different. Today we're going to focus on scouting. We're going to do a bit of window shopping for the sort of players we want to bring in for the future. I'm really looking at Japanese players that are in their mid-20s, still with some room to grow, that are already quite solid, that we can hopefully pick up quite cheap. And when we do the great rebuild at the end of this season, I think there's going to be a lot of bargains out there because there's a lot of players in J3 and J2 that have their contracts expiring. So very exciting. We're going to just do a bit of window shopping. We're going to do one League Cup game today, and we're up against a team in the league above us. If we win that, we're into the playoff round, which is a two-legged affair, and if we win that, we're into the quarter-final. I'll also tell you what's going on with the other cup competition, the All Japan Cup, and yeah, let's see if we can find some wonder kids. Okay, we are playing in the cup against Nagasaki, so they're in J2. This is one of the hardest games we've had so far this season. There's two different cup competitions. After this, we've got another cup game. I've been whizzing through the league games. They've been relatively straightforward. We're on an 11-game unbeaten streak. We actually won 10 in a row, and then the last league game we drew 0-0. But the boys are doing good. We've had a few injuries though. Chofar is out for a bit, so Shu Tomonaga has come in, and he will be the first choice. We've got Hiro on the bench. Who else is injured? Rita Mori is unfortunately injured, so we are a bit light at left back cover at the moment. When's he back? Yeah, it's quite a bad one, that one. 5 weeks to 2 months. Call it 2 months. So I've been sort of training Iwada to cover at left back, an avenue for him to like get some first team minutes. I don't think he's particularly well suited to it, but in an emergency he could do a job. To be honest, I would be more keen to play Uchida there. I just think he's more well-rounded. He might not be used to it, but he could do a job, I think, as a defensive fullback. Tanahashi is not particularly happy with the lack of game time. That's because he's rubbish and he's third choice in that position. We just haven't really needed to use him so far. That's a pretty cool number 7, for a third choice backup. Yeah, I think that number's too cool for you. Oh yeah, Kanda is also injured. He'll be back fairly soon. 9 days and 2 weeks. But that's unfortunate. So we are relying on Sugawara. But as we've seen, he's quite good in the cup. He saved us from going out in the previous round. So maybe this is his competition. Let's go. Let's do it. Uh-oh, we're up against a 3-2-4-1 again. Mind you, the wingers should have a lot of joy. It's just a bit scary seeing all those attacking midfielders hovering around the edge of our box. Let's go, team! Almost the entire first half and not a single highlight, which is not great. We've had more shots than them, but we've had less possession. But they are in the league above us, and they haven't looked particularly dangerous either. Okay, highlight right just before half-time. We've got the ball in our own half. Son, bursting down the right. Cuts back. Takahashi, inside to Yoshino. Takahashi, looking for Son. Didn't quite get the pass right there. And now they're breaking down the left. Minamino, not that one, thankfully. Still. Oh, God. Just before half-time. That is a sucker punch. Hiramatsu should have done better there to close him down. Oh dear. Right. I have been going attacking in the league, and I probably should have dropped that back to positive. That was maybe a little mistake on my part, but we've got to go for it now. Son's having a terrible game. 6.1. And he's one of our best attackers. That definitely was the case in the last game, where the defense was pretty solid, but the attack just couldn't score, despite us having 14 shots in the last game. What do we do? First, we address the team. Do we shout at them? I'm going to shout at them. That was not good enough. Okay. All right, we got a free kick here. Kim Yu-song on the left. Give me a good delivery. That's a good delivery. Takahashi nods it home. That's exactly what we needed. It's a nice cross from our left centre-back. Kim Jong-un would be proud. Feel like we should freshen up the attack. Certainly the wingers. We might as well just give Nakano and Inoue a run out. Let's see if they can do something. We're going to keep Sugawara on. We do have Kenneth on the bench in case of emergency, but his stats aren't fantastic, are they? But he can dribble a bit, so who knows. Let's do a little team talk. Inoue was inspired. That's what we like to see. We're still in this. Okay, Yoshino with the corner. Nice delivery. Now, are they going to hit us on the counter, or can we win it back? We can. Nakano. Igarashi's in. Igarashi scores! It's 2-1! Get in. This is nice from Nakano. Patient, finds the gap, slots it through, nice pass. Igarashi bursts forward, as I want my channel midfielder to do exactly that. Centre mid on attack vibes. Is it more of the Metsala role? I think so. Either way, we don't need to go quite so attacking now. We'll drop back to positive. The wingers have made a difference. Thinking of subbing Sugawara and Horiuchi, because they're on the lowest match ratings at the moment. I don't want to invite too much pressure though. I mean, no highlights is absolutely fine with me. Kenta's shattered, but we don't really have anyone to bring on. How many more subs can we make? We can make 3. So do we just bring on Uchida for Kenta? It's not his best position, but I think he can do a job there. You do not need to be a wing back, just be a full back on both in and out of possession. And then we will bring on... Do we give Kenneth a run out? Or do we just give Sugawara the full 90? Yoshino is shattered, but he's playing well. Horiuchi is less shattered, but he's playing worse. It's a tricky one. I think we prioritise energy here. Well, Yoshino's so good, though. He's our star man. Kanbei, on you come for... Yoshino will be alright. Let's go Kanbei at DM. Let's give Kenneth a run out. Okay, Uchida picks it up at left back. He doesn't really know what to do, but he hasn't lost it. So I'll take that. Kenneth. Also didn't lose it. Nakano bursts into the box. Kenneth has missed a sitter there. But it was good movement. He was in the right place. Down the line. Nakano. Inside to Yoshino. Patient build up here. We don't need to rush things. Hang on to the ball. That's a nice pass from Kanbei. Inoue's in. Inoue has scored. 3-1. And that's got to be game over, right? And just drop back to balance now. Once again, in the cup, we've gone 1-0 down. And we have come back. Hang on, don't jinx it. We've done it. We've done it. Thankfully, their goalie had a stinker. What a comeback. Never underestimate the halftime bollocking. So immediately after that dramatic comeback against Nagasaki in the League Cup, we had another cup game, but this time in the All Japan Cup. Now, it didn't go great. We just didn't turn up on the day. We had some tired legs, and there was some weird stuff happening with substitutions. So I got this warning just before the match started that I'd fielded 2 extra subs that weren't on the bench because you can only have 7, but I triple checked it, and I'd chosen my 7 carefully. it kind of was fine, and then I made some substitutions, and there was some confusion as to whether Yoshino was actually on the pitch or whether he hadn't come on yet. It was very unclear. It was just one of those games where the luck didn't go our way. The stars did not align, and we were able to hang on for a long time. It went to extra time, and then this happened in the 94th minute. Careful in a way. Oh god, don't like this. Bollocks! Kazuma Nagata. Let's put them one up. And for the remainder of extra time, we were unfortunately unable to get an equaliser and take its penalties. So we lost 1-0 to Hachinoe, which, to be honest, it was a shock to the system. We're not used to losing. But silver lining, fixture congestion is going to be much more manageable. It means I can get through the remaining fixtures of the season quicker and keep everybody fresh for the two that matter. To be honest, only one really matters. The League Cup's a nice bonus. We're doing quite well in it, and I feel like we could get to a quarter-final. But there's only prize money up for grabs if you actually get to the final. It's actually the same for both competitions, both the Japanese League Cup and the All Japan Cup. If you get to the final and win it, you get 750 grand, and if you lose in the final, you get 250 grand. Other than that, it's just extra games. So, it's not the end of the world. Am I huffing copium? Maybe. I'll tell you what would cheer me up. Let's do some scouting. Okay, I've been cooking with my scouting. So, my goal was to find 2 transfer targets across every position that we could possibly want to use. So, goalkeeper, right centre back, left centre back, right back, left back, CDM, centre mid, attacking mid, right winger, left winger, striker. And what I'm going to do is show you all of my main transfer targets for next season. So first things first, we're going to go to our shortlist, and you may see Claudio Echeverri, and you might be thinking, mate, you got no chance of signing him. And you're right, at the moment, no. But one day, it is my side quest to this save is to bring him to Japan. I'm hoping that maybe towards the latter end of his career, things don't work out at Man City, we might just have the wages to be able to get him over and maybe win the Asian Champions League. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's a pipe dream. Now let's have a look at some more realistic signings, shall we? First things first, we're going to have a look at goalkeepers. And there were 2 main targets I had. That was this guy, Tomoki Tagawa, who's just pretty solid and good star rating. He's currently playing okay in like league in J2, towards the upper end of our height cap, high reputation actually, and his contract is up in 2026. So I feel like there's a decent chance we could maybe snap him up on a free. I think he's on loan from Yokohama Marinos. Yeah, but who knows? So that's Tomoki. Next up we have Ryota Koma, who again pretty solid. He's playing for Totori, who are in J3, so potentially a more realistic acquisition, but just looks like a pretty solid keeper to me. He's playing quite well. So those are the goalkeeper targets. Now we're going to have a look at centre-backs. Hayato Sugita, or Sugita, just looks pretty solid. Can also kind of cover at right back. His contract's up in June 27, so not a million miles away. He felt realistic. He's playing quite well in J3 this season, and he's 21. So, you know, that's the profile of player that we're after. Young, so sort of like early to mid 20s, who are already quite good, who could improve a bit. I just want like players that are more well-rounded and solid than what we currently have, that can, once we get promoted, get us promoted again. So that's Sugita. And the other one was Shuta Kikuchi. Where's he at? Shuta Kikuchi. There he is. So he's what's his deal? Height cap, right? That's as tall as we're allowed, and he's got 13 jumping reach and 13 heading. So for that aerial weakness we have, I feel like he'd be a really good addition. I like his determination. solid tackling, can play a few different centre-back roles. Just looks like a really good pickup. Now, it might be expensive, but his contract is up pretty soon. So we just have to wait and hope that he's actually released on a free, and then maybe we can snap him up. My scouts think excellent signing. I haven't really been looking so carefully at the scout reports. Maybe I should do that. Strength and stamina make him a decent athlete. I like his attributes. I like his height. Yeah. So that's Shooter Kikuchi. That's my right-footed centre-backs. Now let's have a look at the left-footed centre-backs. Now there's one called Ota, who's very young. Jun Ota. This guy is 16. Look how good he is for 16. Might not be someone we're able to persuade to join us permanently, but we might be able to loan him. Yes, he's short. That's the only downside, but he does have 14 heading, 3 jumping reach, but 14 heading, 14 technique. Those mentals are really good. Excellent positioning and teamwork, excellent decisions, good balance, good anticipation. There's a lot to like there. Maybe he's more of a sensitive defensive mid potentially, which he might be able to do. But for someone who's 16, I thought, hell yeah, you know what? I'm going to scout him right now. So that's Jun Ota. And then the other option for left centre back was someone with a bit more experience, I believe. Shota Suzuki is who we're after. No, he's not on the shortlist yet. Okay, I need to have a search for him. There's 4 of them. Is it this guy? No. Oh. Is it this guy? Yeah, this guy. Okay. Good technicals. And for our style of play, I think that's really important. The mentals are a little bit lacking, but bit of experience, 28. I think he'd be cheap as chips. And if maybe not the first choice, a good, strong backup. To be honest, he probably is slightly better than Kim Yu-sung, but yeah, I think he'd be good if we can snap him up. He's still got 3 or 4 years left in the tank. So that's my left centre-back targets. Now we're going to have a look at right-back. So these are the right-backs that I've got shortlisted. So we're looking at Minato Yoshida. There he is. That's the guy. Let's scout him and add him to the shortlist. Yeah, I love his 15 tackling and the more offensive fullback stats. Crossing is okay. Technique's alright. Good positioning, good work rate. Natural fitness is there. Decent physicals, decent mentals. He's 23. He fits the bill. He ticks a lot of boxes. I think he'd be good. And then this was the other right back option that I think is really good. For 19, contract's up at the end of the season. Not worth crazy money at the moment, but that 15 determination, if he can hit his potential, I love his 14 tackling, and he's just pretty solid in a lot of areas, pretty quick. Yeah, he could be really good. Again, might be one where we have to take him on loan, but because I think he's at Kawasaki Frontale, who are in J1. But he looks bloody good, doesn't he? My scouts agree. Okay, left back. Let's do left backs. We're actually going to take a look at someone we tried to sign earlier on. One of my main targets. I've actually decided is this guy. I really like his passing and tackling. Pretty solid mentals, pretty solid physicals. He just looks quite good and not particularly expensive. Contract up at the end of the season. He's only a fringe player where he is, so I think we might be able to persuade him. Not maybe in the best form in J2, but he still looks like he could be a good bit of business. And the other one was Araki. There he is. Ryota Araki, 24 years old. He's playing for Ryukyu, who are in our division at the moment. But I love his 20 determination. That's really high. The important stuff's kind of there. Nice composure, teamwork, vision, work rates, solid. Nice passing. The physicals are there. He's just pretty well rounded and not on crazy wages. I think we could pick him up. It feels like a realistic acquisition. Okay, now we're going to move on to central defensive midfielders. Let's get some CDMs in here. Okay, it's Yushin Atake. Atsushi. Yeah, so this guy, 19 years old, so he's not quite there yet, but he's got the energy and the determination, and the first touch and tackling are there, so a pretty good work rate. He's not bad. He's not bad. Only 19, but yeah, let's scout him. The other one was, he's got a weird name. Yeah, Ueji Ueata. Not 100% sure on the pronunciation there, you'll have to forgive me, but look at this guy. Great technicals in where it matters for like a CDM centre mid. Pretty damn close to the height cap. Okay physicals, okay mentals, but he's like good in quite a few areas. 26, so a little bit older, would add a bit more experience, contract up at the end of the season. Is currently a star player and playing in J3, but if we're getting promoted, then I feel like we would have the pull. He's playing quite well. Now we're going to look at centre mids. So at centre mid, my two best options, actually a Vietnamese guy. So in case you weren't aware, within the Japanese football structure in J3-2-1, there's a bunch of additional Asian nationalities where players from those nations don't count as foreign. So you can save your foreign player spots for African players and South American players. This guy, I just think, would be a really good addition to the team. Like I say, 28, so around the oldest that I'm willing to sort of look at, but he's probably got a bit left in the tank. And I really like his technicals. And that's kind of what we need to be prioritizing for the more attacking positions. I don't think I've ever signed anyone from Vietnam before. So Nguyen Quang Hai, I think he could be a really cool pickup. Then we have Riku Nakayama. Let's find him. There he is. So this guy, a bit younger, 24, currently playing for Sagamihara, who are in J3. Good determination and everything else just pretty solid. He looks like he could be useful, quite a cheap pickup. Now we're going to look at center attacking mids. One day, Claudio. One day. I had a few North Koreans shortlisted, but I'm going to refrain from looking at them, even though they're dirt cheap, because they take up the foreign player spots. And really, I'm just looking to establish a core of homegrown players. So, Shuhei Kawasaki. Let's find him. There he is. 24 years old. Pretty decent stats and looks quite cheap. Let's scout him. Currently playing in Portugal, I believe. Yeah, he's playing in the second tier of Portugal. I think that's pretty cool. He is a Japanese player playing in Portugal, currently at Tokyo V, who are in J1, but looking like they're going to be relegated. Quite like the look of this guy. Could also sort of cover two positions, attack and midfield, and maybe play on the left as an inside forward. Yeah, I like the look of him. The next one was Daigo Takahashi. There he is. Let's scout him. I mean, 17 dribbling is kind of outrageous. He's on not the cheapest wages, but you know, it's not impossible. His contract's up at the end of the season, so everyone becomes cheaper. He's got some really nice stats. Like I really like beyond the 17 dribbling, which is kind of mental for this level. Natural fitness 16, good crossing, 14 first touch, 14 technique, 14 off the ball, pretty quick and agile. He looks really dangerous. Could be really good. Number 10, currently playing in J3, I believe. He's on loan. Yeah, he looks great. 26 years old. I have a bit of him. All right, right wingers. So the first person on my list is Hiroto Kanishi. Let's find him. There he is. Let's scout him. He's currently playing for Gunma, who are in our division. He's 22 years old. He's decent. I like his 16 off the ball. That's the kind of that's the main attraction to glancing at his profile. But I like also that he's very strong and strong. So basically either footed. Quite versatile, and yeah, he's not incredible, but he's playing well, and he's 22, so you would presume with game time, room to grow. Contract up in June of 27, so a little while away, but I'd like to bring him on board. And the other one was Ryo Sato, who I can't see here. Okay. This is one we might have to search for and get him on the list. Ryo Sato, there's 2 of them. Is it this guy? I think so. It must be. Maybe? I'm going to double check the other one just in case. Was it him? There's 2 of them and I'm not sure which one it was. I quite like both of them. I like your determination. And I like that you're fast and you can finish. But I also like the look of the other one. I like your determination. I like that you're fast and you can kind of finish. Like they're literally almost the same player. You can understand why I was getting them muddled up. I think it was the other guy, but you know what? Let's scout them both. Left wing, we have Kakeru Higuchi. There he is. Currently playing for Nagano in J3, so potentially a cheaper pickup. Transfer value's not all that, but I really like his finishing, first touch, heading, passing technique. Like those technicals are really good. Off the ball, good work rate. Important physicals where it matters. You know, he's fast and he's got the fitness. There's room for improvement in other areas, sure, but I quite like the idea of playing him as an inside forward, cutting in. And I feel like the first touch kind of makes up for the dribbling not being quite there. He's 24, so still a bit of room to grow. Yeah, that's Higuchi. And then we have Chojin Hyuk. Right, let's have a look. Chojin Hyuk. Okay, this guy, he's currently on a free transfer. He was playing for Gangwon in Korea. And look at that speed. Like, okay, the pace is quite low, but the acceleration, 16. I feel like they kind of balance each other out. Good dribbler, agile, works hard, can take penalties, quite determined, good off the ball, brave, can pass a bit, and play on either wing. I might have to just snap this guy up, you know, but I have to think about my my foreign player rules and that. He's being scouted, and he's been added to the shortlist. So we'll see. Okay, in terms of strikers, I actually have 3 to look at here because they all look quite good. So the 3 strikers I wanted to have a look at, one of them was quite young. What was his name? Gotoda. Okay, let's search for him. Gotoda. There he is. Look at some of these stats. Like, this guy's absurd. He's 17 years old and he's got 18 finishing. 18! Along with first touch 14, 15 heading. Yes, he's short, but 1 jumping reach. But, you know, Falcao wasn't particularly tall, and he was great at heading. So, and still scored plenty with his head. Aggressive. You know, I think there's a special player here. Again, might not be one we're able to buy outright, but I reckon we might be able to get him on loan. And I reckon he could bang in some goals in, like, J2. Fingers crossed, eh? So that's Uebright Gotoda. Next person on the list was Ryu Watanabe. Let's have a look at him. Bit older, this one. Bit more experience, but, you know, good first touch. Pretty good composure. Bit more experienced. He's not incredible, but potentially a cheaper option. And finally, we're going to have a look at Hayato Uchida. Get a load of this guy. I mean, look at those technical stats. 13, 14, 14, 13 in dribbling, finishing, first touch, heading. I really like his off the ball, like the aggression. He's pretty tall for us, you know, just below the height cap. Can jump a bit, so like potentially the best sort of aerial threat we're going to get. And I believe he's playing below, Nippon Soccer League means somewhere below J3. So maybe we should just, well, his contract's up at the end of the season. I'm going to save money on paying for players if we possibly can. And hopefully there's just a crazy amount of free agents available at the end of the season. So there we go. Those are the players that have stood out to me, scouring every single team in the Japanese league pyramid. And fingers crossed we can bring some of them in over the next year and a half and really transform the squad.